One Piece 1157 is finally here, and it's about to blow the fandom wide open. We've got traitors, power plays, and the shocking truth behind the legendary treasure of Pirate Island. This is the kind of chapter that changes how you see God Valley forever. Welcome to Super Synth D Studio, where One Piece spoilers hit different. If you love wild theories and hype breakdowns, like, comment, and subscribe. Let's dive in. The break week is over, and One Piece Chapter 1157 is dropping this week. Trusted leakers have already shared the spoilers, and we're going full throttle breaking them down. The chapter title? Legendary Bar. We start with Yamato's cover story, continuing his travels across Wano. This time, Yamato visits the grave of a hero who died fighting Kaido. Then the focus shifts to the Rock's pirates, and we see just how chaotic their crew really was. They were always trying to betray one another. The narrator lists the crimes they've committed. One of them, the Rock's pirates are in the middle of plundering an island. When the gates to the exit are shut, we then see the island being destroyed by an earthquake. Same way as Marineford after Blackbeard used the Gura Gura no Mi. Shaki is in the air, using his devil fruit power. Whenever the Rock's pirates made a move, the Navy arrived fast. Fast enough for Zebek himself to suspect there was a traitor in their crew, working for the world government or the Marines. They didn't know who, but the suspicion was enough to create tension. We cut to Kong, Garp, and Sengoku, talking about the Rock's pirates. In the previous chapter, we still hadn't seen their full crew lineup. Now, Silver Axe, Q, arrives at Hachinosu, ready to join Rocks. And it's not just him. We've got Gloriosa, Kurozumi Higurashi, the same woman with ties to both Rocks and Kaido, who could transform her face into Shikky's thanks to her devil fruit. And then there's Gil Bastar, who appeared in God Valley and was only recently introduced by Oda in the SBS. So, who's the traitor in the Rock's pirates? Could it be Silver Axe? Or maybe Stussy, who we know eventually joined the world government? Who do you think it is? Drop it in the comments. The scene shifts. Harald saves someone from one of Elbaph's allied nations from world government agents. That rescue damages the relationship between Elbaph and the world government. Rocks returns to Elbaph and meets Harald at Ida's bar, while Loki is secretly spying on them. Once again, Harald refuses Rocks' offer to join him. At Marine HQ, Garp asks Kong to let giants join the Marines, because they need giant strength. Kong refuses, saying only the world government can approve that. And the conversation drifts back to Rocks. Now we go to Hachinosu, where Shaki arrives. She quits the Kuja pirates and sets up a bar on Pirate Island. The Rocks pirates! They instantly fall for her, including Rocks himself, and even Whitebeard. The door to Shaki's bar swings open, and the first ones to walk in? Don Marlin, Rocks D. Zebek, Edward Newgate, Golden Lion Shiki, Silver Axe Q, and Captain John. Yeah, this is an all-star lineup of pirates. Rocks freezes in his tracks. His eyes go wide. What the hell is this? Standing behind the counter is none other than Shakuyaku. She flashes a warm smile and says, "Oh, I'm so glad. Welcome. You're my first customers." And that's when it happens. Every single one of these pirate legends gets hit with the Sanji Syndrome. Heart eyes, hearts popping out of their chests. They all shout in unison, "There's an angel here!" Off to the side, Gloriosa watches with narrowed eyes. I wonder what Shaki is planning. Lin Lin, Big Mom herself, smirks and fires back. Maybe she quit just to chase after a man, just like you did. In the end, will the island of women fall to love? Gloriosa glares. Her tone turns sharp. Someone like you, who pops out kids, like popcorn, could never understand the anguish of love. Her bar becomes legendary. People start calling Shaki the treasure of Hachinosu. It's a hilarious scene. Every single guy is staring at her, with heart-shaped eyes, love-struck beyond reason. Don't worry, Newgate doesn't come off as a fool, while Rocks, Shiki, and John, in addition to having their hearts popping out of their chests, have pervy expressions. Newgate has a 100% Serious face even with his heart out of his chest. That's why it's funny that he appears like this in the scene. Haha. Turns out both Roger and Rox had the exact same thing on their minds. Shaki, the only one who didn't fall head over heels for the beauty of the Kuja pirates, was Garp. And the proof? The moment Garp's ship arrived, where the Roger pirates and Kuja pirates were facing off, Gloriosa and her crew immediately turned tail and fled. Why? Because they knew Garp wasn't the type to get dazzled by them. Yep. In a way, that makes Garp stronger than both Roger and Rox. That iron resistance to a woman's charm? Yeah, that's something he passed down to Luffy. And that's exactly why the current pirate empress, Boa Hancock, completely lost her cool when it came to him. And here's the thing. This actually confirms a long-standing theory from Japanese fans. Shaki was the legendary treasure of Pirate Island that Garp once said had been stolen by the Celestial Dragons. That means this timeline is 42 years ago, the same time Shaki retired from piracy to open her own bar. Her first bar wasn't in Sabaudi Archipelago. It was here, on Hachinosu. Now here's where it gets crazy. If part of the God Valley incident started because Shaki was kidnapped by the Celestial Dragons and turned into one of the main prizes in their sick hunting games, then everything starts to make sense. Back in chapter 1156, the narrator even said this about Shaki. In time, the fame of Shakuyaku, later crowned Empress of the Pirates, would soar far beyond anything else in this world. So of course the Celestial Dragons would want her. Remember, the Kuja pirates were already followed everywhere by people obsessed with them. Even their photographs sold for insane amounts of money. If the God Valley incident partly exploded because Shaki was taken as a prize, then both the Rox pirates and the Roger pirates might have had the same goal that day, to get her back. And the clues are all over the dialogue between the Rox crew and the Roger crew. In chapter 1096, the male Rox members hinted at something, right after Rox rushed into God Valley, leaving his crew behind. There was a tense back and forth. Newgate told Rox he wasn't his follower. Stussy's reaction? She almost sounded jealous after hearing that. Then Newgate said Rox would probably lose focus on their main goal once they arrived at God Valley. And what was that goal? To take back the treasure of Hachinosu that had been stolen. But there was something else. Something that could distract them. And if that something was Shaki, yeah, that changes everything. Shiki got annoyed at Newgate for acting like the boss. He threatened to blow up all of God Valley. Then Big Mom jumped in. Let's just steal what we came for and get out. All these dreamers have their heads in the clouds. Now, what about the Roger pirates? We all know none of them wanted devil fruits. So why even bother going to God Valley if all the prizes were devil fruits? There had to be something else. And if that something was Shaki, then maybe Roger really did come all that way just to save her. This theory even lines up with what Gabon told Roger that day. No special treatment for the captain here, Roger. The chapter ends in merry joie. The 5 elders send a message to Harald. They'll allow Elbaph to join the world government if he kills Rox. Break next week, and that's One Piece 1157, Traitors, Giant Politics, and the legendary treasure of Pirate Island finally revealed. If this theory about Shaki and God Valley holds true, it's going to completely reshape the way we see that incident. What do you think? Was Shaki really the prize that set God Valley ablaze? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if you're loving these deep dives, and make sure to subscribe to Super Synth D Studio for more Final Saga breakdowns. The real storm is still coming. Stay tuned.